Taking a look around the supermarkets lately, you may have noticed small price increases on basic items such as milk, rice and pasta. But these pennies have been adding up. According to figures from Open Access Government and anti-food poverty campaigner Jack Monroe, the cheapest bag of rice in a supermarket has risen by 344% in 1 year. Pasta too has seen an increase of 141% for the cheapest bag, while the price of a pint of milk has also jumped up by 17%. It's all part of what's being called the cost of living crisis, and it's happening because inflation, the rate at which the price of basic goods rises, has sharply increased after the pandemic. It's not easy for everyone to cover these rising living costs though, as Danielle De Sousa from Sheffield knows all too well. Danielle is currently claiming universal credit and is worried about how she will afford to heat her home and feed her 5 children next month.
So like my average weekly spend would normally be about £100, and that's for 6 of us. Knowing that it's going to go up again, it's probably going to add probably about £20 or £30 to the weekly spend. And then there's the fuel prices on top of that. Oh, it's just does your head in. Like literally, mentally wise, I'm sat here thinking, how am I going to afford this?
Danielle is not alone here. In fact, according to figures from the Joseph Rowntree Foundation, she is one of 400,000 people claiming benefits who will be plunged into poverty next month, on top of 14 million who are already classed as poverty-stricken. Lucy Bannister from the foundation told us why this is the case.
So with rising prices and decreased support, people will be pulled into poverty. That includes a mix of families with children, families in and out of work. And the main cause of this is benefits no longer keeping up with the rate of inflation. And at the absolute minimum, the government should be ensuring that benefits do not lose further value just when families need that support most. On top of that, of course, what we need to see is more urgent support, better targeted families. The social security system also needs investment, but this is about ensuring that at least it doesn't lose further support.
But there was little of this specific help from the government in the Chancellor's spring statement last week. Rishi Sunak announced he would cut fuel duty by 5p a litre and raise the national insurance threshold, but no measures for those on benefits specifically were brought in. The Chancellor had this to say to MPs when they scrutinised his lack of support measures for those on benefits.
One may say if they don't like my choices, they would be happy to borrow a lot more. That's just not something that I think is responsible or sensible. And I don't think it's the right long-term thing to do for the country. I think we need to be responsible with borrowing. I think we need to be getting debt down and borrowing under control. So that provides for me a constraint as to what is possible, and then there's a choice about where to target that support.
The full effect of this crisis is yet to be seen, but for those on the lowest incomes, they're already starting to feel the pinch right now.